Hey guys, this is the sixth time me filming this because everyone keeps cutting me off and I'm so annoyed with that. Right. Let's hope we don't get any more interruptions. So, this all happened when it was 2013. Um, I'm 22 now, so if you guys want to do the math, do the math. Um, I was a One Direction new fan, you can say. I had just come into this fandom. I had no recollection of what I was getting into. And, you know, I was welcomed by a girl who her name is Amy. And I can say her name because she's not real. She catfished both me and a friend that now hates me. Although his name I will be protecting just because I don't want to get any charges pressed up against me or anything. I did try to message him, but he didn't want to talk to me, so I was like, okay, screw it. So I decided to talk about this just because it's kind of quarantine year, so I guess we're just doing this now because we're all bored. So this boy and I don't remember how we met, if I'm being honest. Amy, I remember I met her through Twitter and we clicked. So and I think we had been talking for a very long year. She never gave me a reason to think she was not who she says she was. I genuinely just didn't think it could, be that type of thing. I genuinely did not know catfishing existed. So that was a whole new thing for me. When we first met, we were friends. I didn't introduce them yet, and she was really sweet. We talked here and there. She was apparently from England, and she was, just very nice, I guess. I don't want to sound racist, but if I, you know, me mentioning this right now is gonna be like more, oh, like, okay, I see why she pointed that out earlier. But this girl, she's white. She is. At first, I didn't know who she was. Genuinely, she had a picture of Niall Horan on her picture, so she never posted selfies or anything like that. It was until she finally made a cake that's when I thought I knew what she looked like, and she was white. Um, so yeah, when this all happened, I had already met Daniel. Daniel was so sweet. He was the kindest person I had ever met. I kind of liked him actually. So once I introduced these two people, I ended up hating myself for doing that because they ended up growing together, and they ended up being, there for each other. He ended up ignoring me, and we kind of had fights, me and her, because of this Daniel guy. I genuinely just didn't want to know that anything was going on between them because I just liked Daniel. I wanted Daniel to myself, basically every preteen girl's dilemma. When that all happened, after that, I because of me, she ended up disconnecting from Daniel and I. Daniel hated me, told me to go get her, which I did. It's funny that I say go get her when really I would just go on Twitter and, get her handle. I ended up going back, trying to get her back. She came back. Then I don't know what happened, but every single time after that, the the second time she ended up again disappearing. So the second time she ended up disappearing, and uh, surprisingly, she ended up disappearing because of me. And he confronted me over what was not true. I told him like I had nothing to do with anything. I was leaving them alone and stuff like that because I just genuinely did not want to be around people who, for one, made me feel horrible, to be friends with the guy that I liked and didn't like me back, and most importantly, ignored me. So after that, I went on Twitter, got her back. I don't know what was going on. I didn't even care to ask because in my head I was thinking I don't like this girl anymore. You know, I'm just here because I'm helping him. He wants to talk to her, so I ended up getting her back on Kick, and they ended up talking again. Then much later on, I don't know if it had taken a week or so, but she then disappears again. And this time she's a little bit more inactive on Twitter. And I'm just thinking in my head, now coming to think of it, it probably sounds like he had told her that he was gonna get a ticket to go to her, or a picture from her. Time I know that a catfish can run when they have genuine feelings for the person, but they end up being catfishes. So again, you know, this girl, the third time she runs, she blames me again, and I'm annoyed by this time. I'm like, okay, once, okay, twice, stop. Third, you're overdoing it. He's telling me all these things about like how much, you know, this is on for him. Like, he likes her, he's practically in love with this girl. And I'm just thinking, okay, like, I don't care, I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear anything about this girl coming out from you. So there I go again, trying to get her. This time her Twitter is different. I mean, it's the same user handle. This whole, you know, thing is just, for me, it's just blown over. I'm tired, I'm annoyed, I'm trying to move on. At that time, I already have a new toxic friend. She was from LA. That's gonna be another story time I will explain to you guys later on. But I end up going on her Twitter, everything's the same, but now she's having these bots tweet for her about follow limits and stuff like that. And I end up digging into her DMs. I end up digging
Twitter, her tweets, and I end up finding her giving this other girl her Twitter, and you know, it's strange to me because I didn't see any what's the word? I didn't see any like contest for someone to take her account. I didn't see any of that stuff. So in my head I'm just thinking like, this is odd. Like, who does account giveaway, gives it away, but someone doesn't change the Twitter, or then like, who does this? Like, I'll get into this in a bit. So she ended up giving her Twitter to someone else, and I, chat this person, I'm talking to this person. She's very sweet and all that, and I think nothing of it, but I'm not also keeping her as a friend. I'm just keeping her as like, okay, so I have a connection to this account now. So in this long time, I'm talking to this girl, I'm telling her everything that happened, and she surprisingly tells me she doesn't want to talk about it. It makes her uncomfortable. She's telling me that she does not know of this girl. She does not know what she looks like. She, here and there she's talking some things and that don't add up for me. I end up actually telling the girl in LA about this girl, and she ends up telling me that sounds weird because no everyone who I've told the story to tells me that it's so strange because no one, like, everyone has a type of like interest, like they want to know about these things. And usually when someone who does feel bad for doing things and end up running away like Amy did, and someone brings it to their attention, they feel bad. Like they just feel bad for doing something, or something related to it. So they tend to change topics or stuff like that. And that's what this girl kept doing. This girl kept changing topics, not wanting to talk about it. She kept coming to Amy's rescue, and I was very confused by this girl's way of talking about Amy. I did not find it, like, I don't know, it was kind of like she praised this girl. So to me, it was kind of odd in a way. After that, I was like, okay, maybe I started to doubt myself. I started to say, okay, maybe this girl is not Amy, and I'm just exaggerating. Maybe just because they both had the first same initial, and on top of that, almost the same names from the start, except obviously she had no Y, and her M was an N, and it sounded a bit. Her name sounded a bit like of a certain um, word that I'm not gonna say because I genuinely don't want, defamation and slander type of things towards me. This girl, she ends up just saying that Amy gave her Twitter handle and that she had no idea about anything else, stuff like that. So I was like, okay. So then coincidentally, I end up stumbling upon Daniel's, not Twitter, Instagram. And I'm thinking here, like, holy crap, how does Instagram know who I'm following on Twitter? Like, it's creepy because even my Facebook did that to me with someone else that I'm kind of friends with, but I'll explain in another story time because they're part of the toxic friend from LA story time. But yeah, so I end up going on his Instagram. I'm like, okay, well, you know, what's the worst that I can see? Like, he has regular pictures. I don't really care about them. I stopped liking him after he was, coming to this girl's defense. I didn't like him anymore. And I go on the people that he's following, and I find him following an account that has Tumblr girls. So I'm like, so I'm just thinking like, okay, that's so boyish of a boy to follow a Tumblr girl account. So I end up I end up opening this account, and I find many pictures of different girls, from scandalous girls that we all always remember of from our pasts, to Zoella, to, different girls. And I look at a picture, like I'm just scrolling through these pictures, and then I notice Amy's picture. And I'm thinking, who is this? There was no name attached to this picture. I don't remember what it said for the caption, but it did not have anyone's name on it. So I found it odd, and I end up screenshotting this picture of this girl, and I go on Google image reverse, and I find out that it's a Tumblr girl. I don't know from where, but she is not Amy. Her actual name is Isabella. She has a pretty good following of people, and she's not a One Direction fan. She is a complete different person from the girl that I had known for almost a year. And in my head, I'm thinking, holy crap. So I save all these pictures, and just in case something in me says, like, just in case I need them. So I end up, keep in mind, this other girl that I'm friends with, or quote unquote friends with, she does not have a picture of herself. She has a picture of, I think it was Luke Hemmings. She was a Five Sauce fan, and she was just, she was just a fan. And, I don't tell her anything yet. I end up going back to my home screen. I'm shocked. I put my phone down. I need a moment to take this all in. My 15, 14-year-old mind is like, holy crap, what did I find? So I messaged the girl, and I started telling her Amy was not who she said she was. She was this girl, and, it was not even the girl that I had talked to for a year almost. And she played Daniels. I was about to say his real name. She played Daniels, and my, initial not reaction, our initial thoughts of her and what she was like. And I never knew this girl. This girl, her reaction was, oh, that sucks. Like, it genuinely was a really, oh, that sucks reaction. And she changed topics and stuff like that. And I'm shocked by her reaction. I didn't find it like normal in my opinion. Um, and if I could, I wish I had receipts, but I don't remember where any of this was taking place on. I can't remember if it was on Kick, on Twitter. Like, I don't remember where it took place. By then, Daniel's not talking to me anymore. He hates me. I tried to tell him about this, and he never listened, I guess you can say. I don't know if Amy tried to reach out to him again after this whole thing, but I ended up, finding all this stuff. And then afterwards of saving all this, I ended up telling this girl, like, you are Amy. And she's like, what? And I'm like, you're Amy. These are the pictures. And by then, this time, she had actually given me a picture of herself. And she was a dark-skinned girl. She was not even white. She was totally, completely different. She had almond-shaped eyes. Amy had round eyes. Her lips were thin. Amy's lips were not thin. Like, total difference of every feature in the face. Nothing to do with this girl. And so, she had told me something about her wishing she was light-skinned because I don't remember something racist. Like, she was going through something with racist people in her life. So I did not know any of that. She would always tell me that my complex of skin, because I was light. I mean, I'm light. She would always tell me that my skin was different and it was nice and stuff like that. So I always found that a little bit odd. But then again, I was like, okay, like, she has a racist thing to say why she's saying that. Later on, I ended up, like, telling her, you're Amy. You did this, you did that. What you're telling me is so similar and exactly like Amy's life from what Daniel had told me. Because there was a time where we did talk about Amy and he told me some things where she was freaking out because I don't know, that she didn't want her family to find out about him, something like that. And he just told me that he was basically like, sad about this girl. And he just genuinely looked like he really liked her. To block me and talk smack about me, obviously. So at this ultimatum, she starts telling me that I'm crazy, that I am not who she thought I was, and that I was lying to her, that I was wrong in the head, that I'm crazy, stuff like this. She was throwing all these names at me, which is what someone would do when, they get caught. Like, they're the type of people that get into denial, and I genuinely do believe that it was her, because so many things that Amy had told me, that this girl had told me, and so many things Amy told Daniel, they all added up to what this girl was telling me. And if I could remember and have the receipts, I would show you guys. But family problems, life problems, almost everything matched what, Amy had told Daniel and I. And we were I was very shocked. Daniel, he could never, I don't know, I guess I've always been more of a realist in the whole thing, because I wanted to know who this girl was. I needed to know, what was going on. And my conclusion was that this girl, she did the catfishing just because she genuinely never had an actual friend. And, she liked Daniel. Daniel's not bad looking. He's kind of attractive coming now to see. In my, growing up, he kind of is attractive. And it's a lot for a girl. I mean, I was in her place, but not to the point where I would catfish people. Like, if people didn't like me, I had to grow up and live with it. And that was my way of getting, like, understanding things for myself. I kind of accepted myself with being accepted or not accepted. If nobody accepted me, I kind of just took it as like, okay, well, I'm not what they need or what they want right now, or I am just genuinely not the person that they, want at all. So they're just gonna go find someone else, and I'm just okay. Like, I kind of grew up with that type of thinking where it's like it's okay if not everyone wants to be with you. Like no one is ever gonna, you know, not everyone's gonna want to be with you. So I ended up feeling like I closed that chapter in my life because it was very hectic. And this all this would have been avoided if I had been like ignorant and just ignored Daniel. But because I cared about his reactions, not his reactions, his emotions, and I cared, because he was a very sweet person to me at the start. I wanted to get answers for him that he in the end did not want. So I, I ended up just forgetting about it, kind of. My head kind of just blocked that time. So for me, it was, for my little head at that time, it was crazy. I didn't like, any of that stuff. And now to this point, I kind of open my mind to allow someone to vent on things that they talk about. And I always ask for a picture now because I'm genuinely just a person towards someone. Like, I don't trust people now because of that. I had a lot of problems with a lot of Amy's because I didn't want to be friends with them because of this Amy. But yeah, later on, this girl did change she changed everything actually. Um, she did not want to be found, obviously. I don't know if she thought I was gonna like come for her. But I was just 13, 14, 15, I don't know. I genuinely did not care to come after someone who, did that. Um, but yeah, that is the story time of when when I got catfished and someone else that I cared about got catfished and now they hate me. That was it kind of reminded me so much. It was like, it was a walkthrough of what I went through. So it's like, it's kind of like, I don't know, you're reliving the things. And I guess that's why people say therapy is like that. It just makes comparison so much more sense, actually. But yeah, if you guys are victims of catfishing, I'm so sorry that that has happened to you. I know a lot of people have actually taken their lives in Daniel's position of this thing. Thank God Daniel is not, like those type of people that tend to jump the line when something like this happens. If you're a victim of catfishing, please don't do any of negative things to you or your body or your mind. Just keep in mind that those people who are catfishing are also hurting and they want to feel better about themselves. So really, in the end, they're the ones losing out on people like you that are being catfished. So I would hate to be on both sides of this, picture. Apparently, I was on the side and I was just seeing this stuff, and I did not know this girl was not even her. So genuinely, she had another wall. So, anyways, I wish you guys good luck on this horrible current quarantine thing. As for the next story time, I will upload it after this one. That one's a little bit longer, and I do have receipts for that one. So keep on the lookout. All right, guys. So I'll see you guys later. And stay healthy. Bye.